the things that happens with her, and one of the reasons why a lot of autistic people, you see, will be flailing like this on a regular basis. And she said the reason they do that is because things come at them so fast. Information, data, colors, life is just... And this really, really struck a chord with me, because after my awakening experience, if you want to call it that, I became aware of this sense of, I described it as things happening at once. Just all at once. And this immediately struck a chord with what this woman was saying, and I was thinking that to have that physical sense of the unfolding of what is all around you has to be disturbing, has to be limited in some way, whether it's by flailing or it's flailing in the mind. But I think this is something that happens to each and every one of us to some degree, is that there is so much, there is such an immensity, and it's a peaceful immensity, but it's still, we limit it. We want to limit it because emotions arise. We don't want to feel an emotion, so we don't allow that emotion. So that whole sense seems to go away, because we're flailing at it in this manner because everything is coming so quickly. And I think that's one of the things that may frighten people in terms of the spiritual search, because there is so much. I mean, there is talk of peace, and there is talk of nothingness, and there is that. But there is also everything. And everything comes, and it, my experience, this is why I'm describing it in terms of the way that this young woman described it, is how it seems like everything comes at once, because I have a great sense of that. I have a great sense of that on an ongoing basis, but I also have a grounding in the relative, so I experience that in a way that makes me feel grounded. It makes me feel comfortable rather than feel like I'm being attacked. But I think that that's something that, when it's experienced, it takes a degree of openness to say, you know, here comes pain, you know, and it's not a matter of saying this is my pain, you know, it's not a matter of accepting it, but it's accepting the fact that there is pain. There is pain there. And a lot of us don't want to admit that, you know, that in this blissful state that there's something that is like pain, but it's there. It's part of life. But this is always why I've heard so many people say, if I hear someone say that life is unfolding one more time, I'm going to go crazy. And I think that the reality of it is that, to me, that's a way of looking at the way that things move within one another. I guess I'm in the process of explaining this. I'm getting more and more away from my point. And my point is that things come at us so quickly. There is such an immensity to the idea of being loved. Not being loved or loving, but being love itself, and facing and dealing with the immensity of that, and trying to explain it to yourself, trying to explain it to others, talking about it so that it somehow has a sense of reality to it on an ongoing basis, because otherwise there's silence. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with silence. Long periods in silence can teach you so much. But I find, and I think that you will find, that other people who talk about it, want to talk about it, feel that there's a certain compulsion to do so. I mean, it's part of, as far as with me, it's a need. It's part of the feeling. There's a sense of gratitude on an ongoing basis, and that sense of gratitude says to me, talk to my friends about it. And sometimes I'm going to make a video, probably doesn't follow a lot of continuity, but I like to make them without a lot of edits and cuts, and just basically give you who I am, and let you know who I am. I'm very, very, very glad to be able to communicate with you like this, and I hope that some of you will email me and write to me, and maybe give me an idea of what kind of things you'd like me to write about, what kind of things you'd like me to talk about, and I'll try to do it. Anyway, peace.